10 minutes off the game clock.
I gotta say, both players deserve so much credit for that, but Alireza's defensive skill, how many times did he win a pawn back and then lose back the second pawn? At least 3 or 4.
At least 3 or 4. Alireza's got to go back to that. Okay, this time he plays b6. He's played c6 and a5. Now he plays b6. This is, Tanya, this feels like a bullet King's Indian. I'm not sure about playing this in a 3+1, but he clearly thinks otherwise.
Yeah, Firouzja keeps shifting his pawn formation further and further to the left. He was playing c6. Now he's playing b6. Soon he's going to be playing a6. But this is not inspiring confidence. At least he might be able to push f5 here. But then knight to h4, super unpleasant when you've got a weakness on g6.
And I think he should play the more aggressive and risky King's Indians in the bullet. Like, bullet, King's Indian is the best opening. I mean, because with white, the subtleties required to quell the attack and the initiative is not so simple.
Yep.
But, yeah, look, Danya, he set everything up, but he's not pushing just yet.
Of course, knight to g5 is the continuation of the maneuver, but in the King's Indian, you normally don't go for that bishop to a6, the hyper-fianchetto.
For anybody watching at home, it looks like b5 here. What could be possibly more natural than pushing a pawn and attacking the bishop? And it's just about the worst move on the board.
Because it dries up the queen side. And, you know, the old computers like Fritz, they would always give b5. That's why the King's Indian, I think according to Kasparov, is the best opening against computers because they have the horizon effect. They don't realize that a space advantage doesn't win you a game in and of itself.
Yes, well, the modern engines would play b5 and still beat you somehow. But
Stockfish 176 just came out, so.
Yes, and f5 on the board. We have talked about this move. We talked about it being better in bullet. And
you take twice and go bishop d3?
You can. He's blundered it. Take twice, bishop d3, and Alireza Firouzja just simply on a bit of a tilt at the moment.
Knight takes f5. You can go bishop h3 right away, and f5 is attacked 100 different directions. Can't play f4.
Danya, I think Alireza's got to change the opening with black against d4.
And it worked so well initially. It worked well against Hikaru. Magnus has figured out the King's Indian in the course of an SCC match.
Well, he's specifically, I guess, figured out the Alireza approach, right? Which is like b6, a5, a lot of different sidelines.
What do you do here? Bishop b2 even is a very Magnus-type move.
Yeah, knight e4 is just clean. Bishop e6, in between move, and then, but there's rook f7 stuff, so you can't really mess around.
But at bishop e6, knight g6 is checkmate if the queen moves away.
Yeah, this is just, we need to see something else from him. He's got to go knight f6, e6. He got to play maybe a queen's gambit accepted, just something else against d4.
Can he generate any chances here? I would go knight g5. Better late than never. I mean, he needs to complete that maneuver one day.
But rook takes e4 even at a certain moment. Sacrificing the rook with knight g6 is like nearly checkmate. So, and by the way, at a certain point, b5 will be a good move because you have no more counterplay on the queen side for the opponent.
And you might benefit from a trade of light squared bishops. And knight g5, Levy, doesn't even create a threat because h3 is protected and f3 is protected by the two minor pieces. So you could just proceed as you planned with bishop to b2 or even bishop takes g5. Again, the time situation, Magnus has only spent 30 seconds. And here's another pawn that's going to fall.
Every time Alireza goes for a think in a losing position, I run out of ways to describe how good the position is for the opponent. Like, it really seems that these King's Indians have left him in just disarray. He's not giving himself the best opportunities to fight back with black.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe Magnus will play e4 again and try to preempt, play that psychological game. But the way the King's Indians are going, I would at least find out what Alireza will do instead if I'm Magnus. He wins another game. He's got to do something different because